It's Sunday, October the 27th, 2024, and this is Trillium Talk, a look inside the week that was in Ontario politics. I'm Scott Sexsmith. Back with us this week is the editor-in-chief at the Trillium, Jessica Smith-Cross. Welcome back, Jess. Great as always to have you here on the show.
Hi, Scott. Good to see you.
Okay, Jess, transportation, the two-wheel kind, seems to have dominated headlines in the last several days, thanks to the Premier, who's threatening to rip out some bike lanes in Toronto that he simply doesn't like. Many residents seem in favor of the move, while some, specifically cyclists, are the ones saying Doug Ford is the one that needs to stay in his lane. What can you tell us?
I'm having deja vu all the way back to 2010 when Doug Ford was this. It seems to be something that the Premier has cared about for a long time, and now he's the Premier, and it seems to be his moment to do something about it. So the government tabled a bill that would allow the Minister of Transportation to refuse bike lanes that would rip out a lane of traffic, and also to get information from cities about their recent bike lanes to contemplate tearing them up. But before that bill has even passed, the Premier is pretty clear about what he wants. He wants to tear out bike lanes in Toronto, one across Bloor Street, the bike lanes that he calls like Hospital Row along University, and another one along Yonge. He says this is popular among voters, and he doesn't really seem to mind the opposition from cyclists over this one.
All right. So meanwhile, the government has tabled legislation to ban new bike lanes. Where is Olivia Chow in all of this, and how does she feel about Ford inserting himself into a municipal issue like this?
So Olivia Chow is a cyclist. I think that's how she gets around, and she doesn't seem to be quite very pleased about this at all. She's released a pretty strongly worded statement about the benefits of bike lanes and the city's autonomy, and opposes this one for sure.
All right, sticking with transportation, but let's switch gears to more than two wheels. And Premier Ford and his Minister of Transportation, Pravneet Sarkaria, similarly enthusiastic about building the expressway tunnel under the 401, proclaiming it's a done deal before the feasibility study comes back. Seems to be a bit of a cart before the horse scenario here.
Yeah, the Premier's come back this fall with the new sitting. Like, he's feeling his oats, I guess, is what you could say. He's really going to do what he wants to do. He announced the plans to study the feasibility of building this expressway tunnel all the way from Brampton to Scarborough. And he says he's going to do it. And that's before the feasibility study is done. Now, he said, if it's really too expensive, maybe we could do it in stages and all that. But so far, what we've found is that it's not actually quite as popular as an idea as I think he might have assumed that it would be.
All right. And I know the Trillium did a poll that found, to your point, it's actually quite the vote loser for the PCs. And when you asked the minister about it, he responded that the government will build it, even if it's unpopular. And he thinks people will like it when it's built, which will be a very long time from now.
Yeah, that's right. We commissioned a poll that found that the majority of people strongly oppose the tunnel, and even more sort of mostly oppose it. And we asked people like how it would shape their vote. It found there was a substantial chunk of the PC vote who said they would vote against the party that builds the tunnel. And there was no real flip side. There were no votes to be had from the other parties, people who were willing to vote for the party that would build the tunnel. So that's why a vote loser is apt. So when we put that to the transportation minister, he said, no, we're absolutely going to build this, and we think people are going to like it when it's done. But that could be a long time from now. This would be a project.
All right, we're going to build it, and you're going to like it. For the most extensive coverage of Ontario politics anywhere, download and subscribe to Trillium Talk wherever you get your favorite podcasts, and log on and become a Trillium Insider today at thetrillium.ca. Editor-in-Chief at the Trillium, Jessica Smith-Cross. Great to have you with us, Jess. Thanks for this. Have a great week.
You too, Scott. Take care.